So, welcome to episode 4. I believe this will be episode 4. I just had to pop back to another server, and I'm in the town of Novi Sobor, center of the map. You see the church there. I just have a little bit of work to do on this server to fix up a helicopter. And I've known about this car being here for a little while now. Cars always give me trouble getting into the gear. But on episode 3, what I ended up doing at the end of that episode is, sorry about that, just searching gear. What I ended up doing at the end of episode 3, believe it or not, is something I do every once in a while, kind of, sort of, pay it forward, if you will. There's a lot of people that help me out with this game, so I like to pass that on. So there was a young guy named Matty, I think, and he needed help in Cherno, so I ended up running the 6,000 meters back down to Cherno, getting Matty, and meeting an old friend down there, and another guy who wanted to help pitch in and help out, and all 4 of us ran all the way back up north to the Northwest airfield. So I ended up coming up north 6,000 meters, more like it would probably be about 7,000 meters up north, 7,000 meters back down, 9,000 meters back up. So a lot of running yesterday. But it ended up putting a, if you will, a big smile on my heart. And it was, if possible to do that. Because it was Matty's first day in the game. He had never been up north before, and he was just beside himself. We went to the same helicopter crashes, and it was just pure excitement for him. He flipped out over my friend's ghillie suit, and I was there for his very first heli crash that he ever went to. And I've never heard a young person like that say, oh my God, so many times. Look at that, oh my God, I can't believe this, I can't believe this. And so that was a real joy. I had a grin on my face the whole time, because all I could think of was, wow, you haven't seen nothing yet. That was just a heli crash. Sometimes we get a little bored with them, but I forgot that initial excitement. So what I try to do is I try to make sure that you're given as good as you get. People are going to help you out in this game. They're going to answer your questions. So make sure that if you can, pay it forward. And I've been running down from the northwest and rescuing people off the beach for a long time now. I think my first 10 days in the game I fixed up and gave away 9 cars, 9 vehicles to people, because I'm not a big fan of cars. I just like running. I've gone down and gotten quite a few people off that beach. Here it turns out 2 people that didn't know each other before in the game that I helped out. Now, once I got updated on it, they now have their own base on another server. I was kind of surprised that those 2 linked up. I had a base on Scaliste Island with about 4 boats down there and 3 helicopters with one of the guys. And he ended up, in the long run, having a base with somebody that, one of the beach rescues from Cherno. So that was real interesting to see. So if you get a chance to help a new player out, and it's always a little bit frustrating, but it's worth it to pay that for it. To me, it's kind of like paying your dues back to all the games given me, and it's very, very important to me that we encourage the next group of new players, because that's the only way all these servers are going to survive and stick around, is if they have a lot of traffic, if people are playing the game. So I just wanted to mention that. And it was a little bit frustrating for me at times, just because I'm used to it and you get bored real easy. And I got to stop here for a second. Admin's asking a question. I'm back. They're having a little trouble on this server. One of the guys can only fix up a dirt bike, and it's not letting him fix anything else up. So they're asking me if I fixed up vehicles, if I was able to do that in this server. And my mind is like blank. I have no idea. I've been on so many different servers making the YouTube videos. I'm not even sure if I have a vehicle on this server. I think I might have 3, but I just can't remember. So I told him I'd let him know in the next 20 minutes. There's a small mission going on too, but I just found a car engine, which is pretty rare on this server. I've been looking for about 3 days. I need a new car engine for a truck I have, and then there are 3 helicopters. I just need one of them, but you need an engine to repair a helicopter. But there's a mission right over the hill over there, and if I can remember correctly, the AI on the mission, or the aggression level, is very, very low. When they set up missions and design these missions, the admin from the server can choose how aggressive they want this, how aggressive or aware that they want their AI to be. And you'll go to different missions, different servers, and you'll see, even on the same server, you'll have different levels, or different hardness levels, how difficult they are, difficulty levels, for say 3 different missions, but they're all on the same server. And even when I play in Exile, which is another game, they let you know by marking on the map which ones are a tougher, much tougher missions, and which ones aren't. So I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of a treat today, because I know instructional videos can be boring, and you guys have certainly paid the price and your due diligence there and hung in there with me so far. So I'm hoping that this mission is real simple, real easy, and maybe even a little bit boring for me. But before I go on just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, then we can step up the game and get the tougher and tougher missions. There's no problem with finding missions with a high difficulty level. So I just want to check here, and before I ever go on a mission and everything, you're constantly checking your gear. I want to make sure I get rid of anything so I don't lose it in case I get killed. So I have one of my stashes here. I need these fuel cans. I don't need the flares. I don't need the hose for siphoning fuel. I want to save that engine block, the scrap metal for the helicopter. So I have 4 DMR mags, 1 heat pack, antibiotics, a little bit of food, enough wood for a fire real quickly. I'm going to get rid of, that was a no. Oh, it did it. You have to watch these numbers up here. If you overload it, it'll either throw it out on the ground and get rid of it for you. So I have 3 engine parts. I did not know that. So that's good. That's real good news today. So I'll take an extra DMR with me. I have some other magazine in here. I'm a little low on my medications here, so in game. So we'll take a quick run down here just so I can show you. It's right over that hill. And the reason I know that is you can click on your map and it says Stash House. And it's right in the middle of this field. So what I want to do is I want to circle right up through here and get onto the high ground. And we're going to get really deep into these missions and discussing them. And as I always say, peeling back the layers of that onion. Because there is a lot of tried and true military tactics that, like I say, they've just been proven so many times that it's just customary. That's just the way you do it. It gives you the adding a few elements or a few tactics to your gameplay. Some of those really increase your chances of survivability or success just by changing and tweaking a few things. And you'll see that as we go along through this series of videos. So anyway, back to my story about Maddie real quick. I just want to make sure that I got across the point to give as good as you get, to pay it forward, because we need those people for all the survivor or the servers to stay open for you in the future. We're going to need new players. And people wonder right now, why are all the a lot of the Dayz mod servers empty all the time? They only have 1 or 2 people. A lot of them have 0 people. And when you have players shooting Bambis on the beach that are unarmed, brand new players to the game, that's because, I don't know, that's what they think is fun to them. Getting in other people's tents and stashes and bases and vehicles that they've worked many hours to get. It only takes about 2 or 3 times for somebody to go through that experience being robbed in game to where it's not fun anymore for them. So they leave and they join another game. Nice silence weapon for the G17, but very weak with a 9mm. Just gotta check and see here. One of the admin just said give me a minute, and there's only 2 of us online, so I don't know if I missed something he said or not. I didn't tell him I was making a video. I didn't want to make him feel bad. Oh, he's asking me if he's going to lose everything on his body. Okay, he's talking to the admin there, other admin. I think he might be actually a player talking to admin there. So anyway, The other reason that we're not having a lot of players, and I don't know why the admins of these servers haven't figured this out yet, but if 4 hours or 8 hours of your server is nighttime, it's almost impossible during stormy, dark nights to play at nighttime. So people will leave your server in droves if it's nighttime. And the only reason they do that is because it's too hard for them to get any gameplay in. And the only reason for that is there's a lack of night vision goggles. They need to make those night vision goggles more available so people at least have a fighting chance to get a pair. Now this is a problem I'm having on this server. I'm trying to switch to my DMR and it will not do it, but it will go to the pistol first. So what I'm going to have to do is open up my gear, move my gun up like that. And it may be my mouse because I think my mouse has been giving me problems. So we're going to stop right here. That happens to be the stash house. But if you're ever wondering, it's good to, there's another mission over the left at a helicopter landing actually. You can zoom in on your map and you can see on this cursor here, the red cursor, which way I'm pointing. So if you almost imagine if you were shooting a bullet down there, from where I'm facing, the stash house is a little bit to the left. So I'm going to let my character catch my breath. I like to move up here, and I'm do it a little different than everybody else, I suppose. But one of the greatest weapons in the game that you can have is to observe. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they usually never set these up with oddball numbers. 10. There's one coming out of the tree on the left. And I keep counting until I get an accurate count. There's 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because if you roll up here and you count 6 and you start shooting away and you find out later on that no, there was 12 of them there, they could be flanking you. And on the servers that have the AI hyper aware, 10 of them will stay in their main routine, and you'll see 2 of them, if you observe them long enough, will break off to the left. They're flanking you. It'll look like they're running away. They're not. And you can identify them by looking through your scope or your binoculars, rangefinders, and you'll see that one has a long rifle with a big scope and the other one has a short, very short rifle. Now here's somebody way out there in the field there. That's there's a deer stand down there, so that's 2 more. Got to factor those into the bunch. So we might have a total of 14. And these zombies down here, the hunters at the deer stand, will aggro once I start firing. So I will have to deal with 14. But see, these guys are real. They're not running back and forth. They're almost standing there. So I'm just going to estimate this because it says banded at 355. This is a little helper thing that they have on the screen that comes up, but it's not always accurate. Even the scopes aren't always accurate. But that's 400. Nope. And now it's not letting me, it's not letting me switch to my axe to kill that zombie. So now I took my eye off them. Come on. Come on, switch. There we go. Won't switch by the scroll button, but it will switch by the using 1, 2, 3. 1 for your primary weapon, 2 for your secondary, 3 for the axe. So now that that didn't go quite according to plan, I've got to change positioning because I fired from one position. We're going to get into all these finer details of it later on. But that was right at about 350 yards, so it's the first shot I've shot over their heads. And I'll see when I edit it if I can possibly put some slow motion in it so you can see a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. There we go. I'm going to bring out another magazine from my backpack. 2 of them, matter of fact. And I'm going to take this partial one and put it back in my backpack if it'll let me do that. Nope. Pretty quick to catch your breath on this one. And I'm just going to go ahead and I want to look out here to see if any of them are flanking. Oh, yeah. See that right there in front of us? There's 5 that are flanking us. Come on. Quick. Oh, I thought that other one running up was a heavily armed AI. I got very, very lucky on that one. But that's good because I kind of like that. My heart was pounding. I should have never opened up on them that close. But because they're so lethargic and kind of on the not too bright level, I thought I might have a chance. So I lost count now. I'll go back down. There is 3 dead AI. I gotta get this guy. He's got a long rifle and a big scope. I can see it from here. Hit him in the leg and he fired as he fell. I'm hoping that was him that fired as he fell. So now I can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to count again to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the upper half. 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I just want to watch the woods here. Like I said, with the more aggressive one, they will circle, and they are very, very adept. I was just shocked and amazed at how adept they are right now for AI to plan together, group together, and decide whether 2 of them are going to come after you or 4 of them. So I don't want to wait too long because they're going to despawn. I really don't need anything here because I have more guns than I need. But I'm hoping I miscounted and there was more of them. And I want to keep an eye out down there. And then as soon as I get here, if I'm not sure, Excuse me, all this talking is giving me a dry throat. So there's MK48. I'm going to take their painkillers. There's an FN file. That's the one with night vision on it. I already got a couple though. Stashed away. Then I've already made the habit of opening up their gear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to loot these two, but looking uphill here, see if any, there's another one. I'm going to take these file mags. I want to keep track of where their friends are at, or if I see any movement. So this is 5. It's a zombie down there. And I already lost count from up here. Once you kill them, you have about 10 minutes to collect gear, and the bodies will start despawning. If you're successful at the mission, it will come up on the screen once you close into the epicenter of the mission. One of the tactics you can use, and I'm not even sure if there's a name for it, there probably is, because the military is quite good at this stuff. I got 8 down here, 5 up on the hill, 13. That's not a correct number. They never have an odd number, it seems. So I either miscounted and got them all, or there's one left. I don't know where he's at. The other day I completed a mission. I came to the epicenter. It said I completed it, and I heard my character groaning, and I thought, am I wounded? Am I bleeding? And here it turned out that it wasn't me. It was the AI crawling away on the ground. There's another DMR, so I'll recover a few mags here. From what I used today. Try to switch, and then now it says on the center that the stash house is under survivor control, but it's still not switching back between my gear. And there's nothing in the house. There shouldn't be. There might be a few cans of food, because this house still has loot in it. It's still set to loot, and oh my gosh, did not know that. There's a silenced bison, 2 more DMRs, G36K, M16A2, DMR rounds, guns, grenades, pistols, and everything. And so what you can do is you can load up that Humvee and take it, and you can use these vehicles. You can either strip them down for parts, or you can use them until server restart. It has a warning there that this vehicle will disappear on server restart. Because this is loud for you guys to hear, I'm going to shut it off and go head over and fix up the helicopter. Just wanted to show you a little bit of that, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll get into more and more aggressive ones to where the AI are pretty darn clever at figuring out your next move. So I'll see you in a little bit.